Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I want to talk to you all about your holiday marketing tips. We know more than any other year, we know we'd have to step up our game for holiday promotions, right? This year is totally different than what it has been in any other year, and it's been super stressful for a lot of people. And I think we get overwhelmed with all of the things that we have going on in the world, and we got to run our business, and we got to market to all of our customers, we got to manage the customers, we got to manage the vendors, we got to manage all of these things on top of the fact that it's 2020, we're in a pandemic, we have all kinds of craziness going on, and small businesses are taking a huge hit. And so I wanted to come and give you some of my tips on how you can step up your marketing game for free or for super cheap. And by super cheap, I'm talking like under 10 bucks. How you can step up your game, connect with your customers, and start making sales. Okay, so first of all, straight off the bat, I'm going to give you 6 tips, but the first thing that you have to do before you even get into those 6 tips is you guys have to have a social media page. Okay, so whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, you have to have that. So if you don't have that, let me know and I'm going to help you with that. But these tips are super important for you to use on your social media platforms, okay? So if you don't have a social media page for your business, get one set up and do it tonight. So the tips that I want to give you, first of all, I have 6 of them. The first tip is for you product-based businesses. You're the ones that are creating all of the things and doing all these beautiful things and selling these products that, that people don't know how to make on their own. Right? They need what you have to offer. Therefore, what you have to offer is super important and super valuable, right? So as a product-based business, you have to take pictures. Take pictures of every single product that you have to offer. And I'm not talking pictures of your product in your dingy old basement where your store is, where your shop is, if you have it in your basement. Okay? Not knocking in a basement. We all have to have spaces. But you have to make your products look nice. You don't need to get a photographer. You don't need anything fancy. Remember, these are free or cheap options for you when it comes to your marketing. So when you're taking pictures, pull out your phone, whatever phone it is. I've had crummy Androids. I have an iPhone now. Whatever phone you have, take pictures. I want you to have good light for your pictures, and I want you to have nice backgrounds. You don't have to be fancy again. Like, for example, for this week, okay, so I did, I'm selling a few things from my daughter's room because we're cleaning out her stuff. She's done with her toys. So I had to make sure when I was taking pictures of all of the toys that we were selling on our Facebook Marketplace, I made sure that they were on the floor on our carpet, so it looked nice somewhat. I mean, it was carpet, you know, whatever. But my backdrop was, I had some really nice curtains in my office. So that's what my backdrop was. I wasn't taking pictures of all of the products inside of a messy room, because then if you have a messy room and you're trying to sell something and in the background is just a mess, people are going to see that and they're not going to want to buy from you, because how do they know your product is in good quality shape? You didn't even showcase it appropriately. Think about it as your pictures are your first impression. Like when you meet somebody, like you go to an interview or you go somewhere, you put on your best foot forward, right? You put on your makeup, you do your hair, you wear something nice to the interview. Your pictures are first impression for your customers that are following you on social. Even if you have a website, your pictures are the forefront of your product, so you have to take good pictures and keep your pictures updated on all of your posts. You want to make sure that you're showcasing that. Let me give you another example. I'm trying to buy flowers for my grandma, and I wanted to buy some flowers for her. She lives 3 hours away, 4 hours. It's a long ways away. And I don't know any of the flower shops inside her town. I could easily go to 1-800-Flowers and buy some random bouquet of flowers. In fact, I've done that the last couple years. However, this year, I really, really wanted to contribute to the local florist in town where she lives. And so I was trying to find this poor florist online, okay? I found a website that was pretty dingy, pretty old, and didn't have anything updated as far as what the pictures were. So I'm like, okay, next thing is I'll see if they have a Facebook page. I went to their Facebook page, and it hadn't been posted on for months. and the pictures that they had didn't even have like a good representation of themselves. They looked like they were just pulled randomly aside and stuffed in a vase. So already there as a consumer, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to spend money and send something to my grandma that looks like it was just thrown together, okay? So that just created me thinking, well, I don't even want to spend it because I don't want to, yes, I would like to support a small business, but if they're not going to provide a quality product, I don't want to spend it. And so that's what a consumer's mindset is. Think about that for yourself. So when you're taking pictures of your product, I want you to take pictures recently, and I want you to stay on top of them, and I want them to be good. Make sure your background is good. Make sure you have some pretty decent lighting, because if you have colors, you want to showcase your colors and do all of that stuff. Turn on lights, whatever you need to do. That's what I want you to do. So that's product-based. So for service-based, tip number 2, you guys have it a little bit harder. And I'm a service-based business, and so I always tell all my customers to do what I do. I do video. Video is my thing, and it's not my favorite. If you follow me for any length of time, video is not my jam, nor did I want it to be, but here we are. We're in 2020, and video is key. And if you want to make your Facebook algorithm work well, you want to do live video. So you are constantly showing up for your customers through video, through live video, through posts. You're providing valuable tips and tricks on ways that you can help your customers get a little bit further along in the process. And you're building up the know, like, and trust factor. People will only buy products or services from people that they know, like, and trust. And if they know the people behind the business because you show up on video, you start to trust them. And I've always said, when we do live video, our true face shows, right? So if something goes awry in this Facebook Live, you're going to see the true colors of Holly with how I handle some things. We've had some sketchy live videos before with technology. Trust me, technology is not my jam either. But live video, you really get to know your customers, and it's super awesome. So if you are hung up on live video, I actually have some tips that I can share with you. Maybe I'll do another post on that. But when you're a service-based business, you want to give tips and tricks, answering questions to the common questions that you get asked all the time. One of the questions I have, especially recently, is how do I promote during the holidays? Well, hello, this is the video that I'm doing for it. So when you are doing any marketing, if you're a service-based, even if you're a product-based company, you still want to show up and do video. There's a boutique that I follow in a town not too far away, and they have live runway shows with all of their employees walking around showcasing their products, like their apparel and their jewelry, and they're having a blast. And they have people following them by groves and showing up even at their store, even in 2020, trying to buy products from them because of what they've experienced through online video and through live video. They get to see these girls in their rarest form, and they get to see who they are for real, and they want to buy from them because they love them and their personality. So show up, show live video, do regular videos. You can do pre-recorded videos, which if you're freaked out about live video, do pre-recorded videos. Give yourself some slack. Don't worry about that. And then do some posts. I want you to do some posts with some tips and tricks as well, okay? So that's number 2. That's a service base. Number 3, I want you to update your contact information. Make sure you have the right email that you are checking regularly. Make sure you have the right phone number posted on your website and your social media, and you answer it, or you have an answering voicemail machine that you look at and you respond to. Have your contact information in. Also, how can people buy your products? If you sell products or have services, how can people buy? Can they call you? Can they email you? Do you have a link on your website? Do you have a link on your social media platform where people can go and buy? People want to know how they're going to buy. So let's go back to that florist example that I gave you earlier on, where I was trying to find a florist for my grandma. Picture this: if I saw a beautiful bouquet that had been posted on a Facebook page of this local florist. It's beautiful. I want to buy. Imagine my frustration if there's no website link to their social media, the phone number has a typo in it, and I posted a comment on there asking for the price or how I can order it, and nobody responds to me for 48 hours. Imagine my frustration. People are anxious to spend money. They want to buy their Christmas gifts, and a lot of people are wanting to buy local, so you got to be in tune to that. Make sure people know how to contact you, how to buy your products or services. You have to keep that right at the forefront, because if people fall in love with you, with your pictures, and you have great video and you're bringing out content that's really helping people out, if you're not responding to them and you're not showing them how to buy from you, you're just wasting your time, and time is valuable, and it's way too important for you to make sales this year. You cannot let simple things like that take you away from helping your customers, because you have a great business and you have products and services that your customers desperately need, especially during this time frame. So it's super, super important. That takes me to my fourth tip that I want to give you. You have to provide amazing service. You have to be responsive. You have to respond to the emails. You have to answer the phone calls with a bright and cheery voice. When people walk through the door, you have to greet them and say hello. The donut company that I worked with for a while this year, everybody who walks in gets greeted by hello, welcome. It makes people just like, it takes them back because they're not used to it. And then they realize how friendly people are when they walk in and they feel welcomed. And let me tell you right now, in this world where everybody is secluded, it is so important to provide that extra notch of customer service, whether it's online or in person. People are craving that relational piece, and that's what makes you different from the big box stores, is how relationships are built through the various different platforms that you can connect with them, whether it's in your store, on your social media platforms, even on your website, answering the phone, all of that. You have to provide amazing service. Right now, people, if you don't have positive customer experience, people are very quick to flee. I will tell you, my husband and I, we have ran into that a couple times where we have been super anxious and excited to get out, to go shopping, to go to dinner or whatever, and when we walk in the door and we encounter a really grumpy person, a really grumpy salesperson, the checkout person is grumpy, our waiter is crabby, or doesn't even acknowledge us and just drops waters on our table and doesn't even say anything to us, we are very quick to be like, holy cows, do we even want to come back? The world is so full of crabby people. Don't be one of them. Stand out amongst the crowd. You're a representation of your business. I'm talking to all these small business owners through this video camera, okay? You guys are your business. Your employees are your business. They are marketing tools too. You're paying them, so make them be good. Make them be good and engaging and provide the customer service, because happy customers, happy employees, man, it's going to make 2020 feel so much better when we know that we have like really been a blessing to everybody that we come in contact with. So make sure you provide that amazing customer service. Number 5, I want you to give deadlines for your orders and shipping. We are now coming into the season where everybody who is last minute with their Christmas shopping is really going to start coming down to crunch time. And I don't know about you, but I've noticed a ton of problems with shipping already, okay? I told my husband, who's in logistics, and he worked at FedEx years and years ago, and I had told him earlier, probably back in October, and I had said, I keep hearing about Shipageddon, where people are going to be running into some shipping issues as the holidays get closer, and he kind of dismissed me, and he said, no, they're always prepared, and they're totally fine, or whatever. Well, let me tell you, I'm not going to say that I was right, because I just won't. But I will tell you that I made purchases on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all of them promised that I was going to have my products delivered by Wednesday, by this past Wednesday. I think that was, this past Wednesday. Okay? Guess what? None of them showed up. I actually just got my last package yesterday. So 3 or 4 days late on their shipping, okay? And that's before the big Christmas rush and before the last minute stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon Prime starts scaling back a little bit too and seeing if they actually make their 2-day deadlines or if they're going to run into things too. So you have to make sure that you are trying to get your customers, encouraging those customers to submit their orders ASAP. And tell them that repeatedly. Remember those posts of tips and tricks? You have to tell them, order this by today if you want this by Christmas Eve. And you have to include the tracking if you have that ability. You also have to know, if you're a product base, you're probably waiting for some shipping items to come to you so you can fulfill your orders. So communication is super duper important when it comes to that. So give deadlines. Communicate any shipping problems that you have. I got emails from all of the companies that I was ordering through that said that there was a delay in the package. This is the delay on it. Now, one thing that I think would be interesting that I was just realizing is if you run into that, why not throw out a discount on their next order because of the delay? So you're going a step above and beyond. So let's just say you run into some snags. It could be shipping. It could be other things that we're running into as we get to crunch time. Think about in the back of your head, if something goes wrong, how can I make this right for the customer? I just heard a horror story of somebody that had a cake business, and something happened with the cake. I don't even remember what it was. But they asked to at least get $15 off their order because it was wrong, and it was the cake company's fault. And the lady fought it and did not give it back to them. Did not take that $15 off like they asked. And in turn, this customer wrote the nastiest post on their Google review and on their social media platforms, and it has turned into a disaster. What could have cost her $15 cost her probably about at least 4 weeks of damage control on her social media platform and on her Google page, which is a disaster. And now she probably has a bunch of people that are canceling orders or even making the decision not to order because of the fact that it was $15 and how it was handled. So think about things. We all run into situations where things are out of our control. And yeah, well, we run into a grumpy customer here or there that won't accept whatever we want to offer them to make things right or to help things. But think about things in the back of your mind of how you can help if something goes awry. What type of discount or what kind of service or some add-on that you can do to help them, because people want to be known too. They want to be acknowledged. It's been a tough year, and people's frustration levels are like this, and then they can easily explode. So so think about that too when you're doing that. And then the final thing is everything that I've given you has all been free. This next tip is cheap, and I'm talking cheap. Festive wrapping, okay? If you have a product-based business, let's just say you have everything in a box. I actually just did this with a customer, and he has beautiful white boxes where he puts his products in. And I said, all you have to do is wrap a red ribbon on it, and boom, it's a Christmas gift. And that's all you have to do. So think about some cheap festive wrapping paper. I think Hobby Lobby has ribbon for 50% off. All their Christmas stuff is 50% off. Run in, send somebody from your staff over, give them $5 and say, hey, find the nicest red ribbon that you have for $5 and bring it out to me. I don't really know. Whatever you want to do, but super cheap ways to dress up your products to make them more festive. It's just a simple thing that can make your product, which is already amazing, go to that next level and to do something fun. That's all you have to do. Just think of something outside the box. I actually just had a coffee shop that I work with. They are coming up with quarantine bundles, quarantine gift bundles. Having been in quarantine, I understand how lonely it is and how hard it is. You can't go out. You can't do anything. And for somebody to show up on my step to give me something was amazing. In fact, I feel bad for them because when they came, I stood by the door and I'm like, don't leave, let's talk. We'll talk through the door, whatever we need to do. People are stuck in quarantine. And so I just suggested to this gal, hey, why don't you try some quarantine things? Maybe a little bundle of your products or services that your customers can give to their friends, give them to their loved ones. So think about some fun little things to play on what we're dealing with. There's so much bad this year going on. There's so many things that are frustrating that we have to overcome and stuff. But man, there's some amazing things that we can do to really make our customers feel special, to really make things work better, and to be a light in the midst of everything. So those are the tips that I want to give you today. Just so I'll run through them real quick. So product-based businesses, take pictures, make them nice. Service-based pictures, hop on video, give tips and tricks. It's super important. Both of you, products and services, show your face, show your employees, show all of that because people want to connect with you on a personal level. Number 3, I want you to make sure you have updated contact information. How can people buy from you? How can people pay for you? You have to have that done. Have amazing service. Do not drop the ball on service. Make sure your employees, if you have any, are well aware of the importance of customer service. Give deadlines to shipping or encourage orders as quickly as possible, and plan something else. If something goes awry, how can you continue to bless your customers if something gets delayed, like a discount? I apologize that your shipping is going to get out 2 days later. Here's a $25 or 25% off coupon for your next order. We really value you being our customer. So that's that. That's the 5th one. Number 6, festive wrapping. Spend $5 to $10 on some red ribbon and slap it around your boxes of your products or something. Make it look nice, of course. Don't just throw some rubber cement on there and stick a bow on it. But I'm talking about buy some fun things. Dress it up just a little bit. You don't have to go break the bank to do something like that, but bring it festive, and you would be surprised what a red ribbon can do to transform something. So those are my tips for you. I do want to mention, if you are interested in doing a quick marketing reset, and you want to expand a little bit more on the tips that I'm giving you today, and you want some help with it, I'm going to be having a group that I'm going to be starting next Monday. We're going to do a Monday to Thursday where we are going to meet inside a Facebook Live, inside a Facebook group, and I'm going to give you tips and tricks Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to come in live with you, and so I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to give you all of the tips, like how to deal with the most effective things on Facebook, on Instagram, the different things that we can just kind of be scrappy about right now, give you some ideas. We're going to brainstorm together as a group. So if you're looking for some hand holding when it comes to some marketing to get you through the holidays, or to even just fuel your brain to think about what you want to do after the first of the year, join me. It's going to be $25. I want you to DM me so we can get some things set up. I have not had time to work with all of the intricacies of how to set up all the automatic stuff. So if I give you a link, you got to pay for it or whatever. But I really wanted to get this in your hands so we could get started right away next week before the holidays really start to bog us down. But I want you to be successful leading up to the holidays if I can, with some really quick wins next week. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM. Like I said, $25 gets you some very connected information for me, so I can get together with you and some other small business owners. We can brainstorm inside this Facebook group. I'm going to come in live. I'm going to be inside that group answering questions and giving ideas. It's basically going to be like a group coaching, individual coaching type of session. If you've been in any of my groups, that's one thing that I like to do, is I like to get in your business and I like to connect, because remember, it's all about the customers and it's all about connecting personally. So that's what I have going. So send me a DM on that. But I also hope that you save this video and rewatch it and start coming up with ideas. Send me your ideas too. What are you working on? I want to follow your pages. It's super fun, especially as we're getting towards the end of this year. I am a firm believer that there's still some really cool things left in 2020, and I think we could really turn some things around this month and really get you ready for what 2021 has to offer. to just get you guys excited again. And I know it's been a hard year, and let's do this together. Let's work together, and I hope these tips have been an encouragement to you. Like I said, post pictures in the comments if you threw some red ribbon on your products, or what type of products what you took pictures of and what your backdrop looks like. I'd love to hear about that. So anyway, have a fantastic night. I will see you next time.